Hi there, my name is Frank Durfler, and I'm both a reader and a writer of books that guys will like. Come on into my workshop. In the shop today, I'm cleaning up this great 1930s style socket set. This is a very strong, as you can see, socket set and very practical. From 1930s used through World War II. Interestingly, the ratchet that most of us are familiar with when we talk about sockets was not patented until the 1950s. So this kind of socket set got a great deal of work early in the Industrial Revolution. Another thing that we could talk about from the 1930s is railroading. And here's a great book about railroads. The Greatest Railroad Story Ever Told is the title, by Seth Bramson. And it's basically the story of Henry Flagler and the railroad that ran all the way out to Key West in the Florida Keys. The Greatest Railroad Story Ever Told isn't a big book. It's only 160 pages, but it's very well illustrated and very well researched. It's a story of the railroad going down to Key West in the Florida Keys. So, if you've ever visited the south end of Florida, if you've visited the Florida Keys, if you know someone who has an interest in railroading, if you know someone who likes great books about history, this would be a tremendous gift, a tremendous present. Very well researched, talks about the technology, talks about the railroads, talks about the barges, talks about the construction capabilities, all of those things. And by the way, this really was quite an event, quite a construction project for its time. I'm lucky enough to be able to fly over the Florida Keys on a weekly basis, and these bridges are still here. They're still very beautiful, they're still very rugged, and it's someplace you can come visit and see. So before a trip to Florida, giving someone this book or reading this book would be a very smart thing to do. So it's a well-researched book that talks also about the people. It talks about Henry Flagler, it talks about his supervisors, superintendents, and the people working on the railroad. It's a tremendous story that ends both with a great triumph and a great tragedy. And I don't think I'll spoil it for you if you haven't read about it, if you don't know the history. It's very interesting. But I will tell you that at the end there is both triumph and tragedy in very significant proportions. So, a very excellent book, The Greatest Railroad Story Ever Told. I highly recommend it. Any great guy would love to read this great book. If you like books like this that have a lot of fact in them, a lot of history in them, you might be interested in two books that I've written. One is called A Glint in Time, and the other is called A Twist in Time. Glint in Time is the first book, and Twist in Time is the second. And they deal with history, they deal with technology, and they deal with a little bit of a twist, something a little different, the ability to do something about the past, and how do you know? A Glint in Time and A Twist in Time are available for every kind of electronic media from the regular electronic media outlets. I think you'd like them too. My name's Frank Durfler. Thanks for being with me, and have a great day.